Hello. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up, install, and then use the offline desktop app, the Sumundi Keepsales offline desktop app, right? So under this video, you see a link to download the setup. That is, if it hasn't been sent to you already, you can use the link in this video description to download the setup, right? Once you download the setup and then you do the installation, you'll be faced with a screen like this, all right, which says your software is not activated. You already have a license key. Now, before you use the system, you will need to request for a license key, pay for the license key, and then activate the license key. All right. Now, if you've made payment externally, I'll explain what you do. If you've not yet made payment and you're now about to make payment too, I'll explain what you have to do. All right. So the first thing is that we are assuming that you don't have a license key. This is the first time you are installing the system. All right. So instead of going to yes, I have a license key, you go to no, I need to get one. So you click on this, no, I need to get one. Now, mind you, with the license key request, you will need to have internet connection. Though this software is an offline software, for the activation and then the requesting side, you need to have internet, else it will not work. All right. So make sure your device is connected to the internet first, right? So over here, you provide some few details. Over here, I'm going to enter here as Test Business Limited. Okay. And then for the email, you should use an email that can actually receive emails to be on the safer side, right? But for the purposes of testing, I'll do test@gmail.com. Right, or maybe instead of test at Gmail, I'll just do it test 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 at gmail.com. All right, and then for the phone number, it has to be in international format. So if you're in Ghana, we say plus 233, let's say 24 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. All right. So you have it here like this. Then the reseller code is optional. Now, mind you, the phone number you provide here will receive a copy of the license key. All right. So this phone number will receive a license key as SMS. Okay, just for reference purposes. Okay. So once you are done, you click on this, request a license key, like this. Okay. So now we have made a request. The system has returned with a license key for us. So you can copy this key. You can click here to copy this key, and then you can paste this key somewhere. And also, like I said, you will receive this particular license key via SMS. All right. But you will be doing the activation on the screen that you have installed the software on. So you need to copy it and keep it somewhere safe. Okay, very important. Okay, once you are done and you see the screen, you go to continue to activation. Continue to activation. Now over here, it says that enter or paste your license key below. If you haven't made any payments yet, kindly make payment first. If you have already made payments, you can proceed to activating your software, right? Now, if you are downloading this software on your own and you haven't made any payment to Blanco Electronics yet, then you need to paste the email that we entered over there previously, the email that you provided previously, and then the license key we just copied. You have to paste it here, and then you click this button, make payments for license key. That is if you've not paid already. But if you've already made payment externally, either via cash or Momo or something like that, you've already paid for your software, then once you get here, you have to contact Blanco Electronics, contact support, and then would have to check a few things before you can click this enter email license key to continue. So over here, we'll paste the key over here, and then we'll paste the email that we used over here as well, which is test 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 at gmail.com. All right. So it says activate software. Now, if you click activate software, look at what will happen. Now the system says payment has not been made for this license key yet. Meanwhile, you've sent it via Momo externally. Okay, so you have to notify us that you've gotten to this point. Once you notify us, we will flag in our system that you've already made payment, so you can proceed to just activating. Okay, if you don't do it like that, it will not work, or you'd have to make payment again. All right, so I'm going to flag this license key as paid for, and then we'll come back here. Okay, so assuming you contacted us, then we've already but please make sure you do not leave the screen. Do not leave the screen. All right, when you get to this point, contact us, let us flag your license key for you, and then you just proceed to activating. Okay, so now I have flagged this particular key, so now I can proceed to activating. All right. So now it says your software is now activated. Create your account to complete setup. All right. So we go on to create your account. Now, at this point, you don't need to have internet connectivity again. All right. Now we are done. Everything after this is strictly offline. All right. You can provide the details for the accounts that you use to log in. All right. So over here, I'm just going to make it the same as the first email that I did at gmail.com. All right. Okay. And then I'll provide the phone number. That's 233-55415-1234. Okay. So this is the phone number. Then the password, I can make it 123456789 just for the purposes of a demo. All right. Nothing biggie over here. 123456789. Okay. Then I go to sign up. All right. Then business name. Like I said, this one is creating it offline. Okay. It's different from the one you used to create a license key. Also, for this particular one, you can change the details anytime once you are in. Okay. So I'll say test business limited. Okay. Then business number 233-123-4567. A plus 233-24. Right. Then the currency can make it Ghana cedis. Location, you can make it Accra. Okay, the logo, you can skip it for now. Currently, we don't use the logo for anything in the software just yet. Okay, so you can skip this for now and then you click on finish. Once you finish, this is the screen that you will see. It says complete your setup and all of that. Now, this system is very simple. I'm going to maximize it a little for you like this. Okay, and over here, I'm going to hide my camera for just a moment, just so you can get the full screen. All right, so let me hide my camera and then we maximize it like this. Okay, perfect. All right. So when you enter the software, you see the menu. The items here are the same as the items here. Okay. But this is just like the icon representation. So we have all product, we have stock alert, we have today's sales, we have account history, we have POS, and we have settings. Okay. Now, all products is where you manage your inventory. Okay, the items you've sold, your list of items, their quantities, their prices, all of those things are managed at all products. Stock alert will show you the items that are getting finished or getting expired. That is if you've set those values, right? Now, today's sales, anytime you record a sale, it appears as today's sales. Okay. At the end of each day, when it's 12 midnight, this one will come back to 0. Okay, I'll explain that quickly. Account history it shows a list of all the sales you've made apart from today. Okay, so if you've been using the software for 2 years, when you go to account history, you can see all your sales for the last 2 years, and you can filter, and then you can see the total, the records, and the details. Everything is at account history. Okay, and then POS is where you actually record your sales. Okay, and settings is where you do your business setup. So we'll go through each individual menu item one by one, and then we'll take it from there. Also over here, we have the same menu: all products, account history, POS, settings. Okay, so it's similar to this. So if you don't want to use this, you can go to this place, right? So now the first thing is we have to add your product. Okay, so we go to all products. Okay, now this opens a window. You see, by default, everything is 0. We don't have any items. Now, on top of this side, we have the product statistics. Okay, so number of unique items. So, for example, if you have Milo milk, those are 2 unique items. Okay, if you have shoes, sandals, those are 2 unique items. All right. Inventory retail value. The retail value is the sum of the value of all your items. So if today you sell your items, everything in your shop, this is the inventory retail value. That value will show here. Okay, and as we add our items, we'll be seeing this value. Now, total inventory size, this one is the sum of the quantities of all your items. Okay, very key. Inventory cost is the total cost of your items, where like if you add all the costs that you get from your supplier, you get the inventory cost. And this is for the wholesale value. If you sell at wholesale too, you get the wholesale value here. Okay, so now let us add a few items to understand how it works. Okay, now you can import with Excel. If you click import, there will be an Excel template here you can download, and then you can download the instructions on how to go about it. But for this video, we are going to stick to adding a single product, which also works perfectly. Okay, so we go to add product, add single product. Okay, now this opens a window like this. Okay, now this window is the form that you fill to add a new product. It's very simple. At the left side over here is the field that is required. At the right side over here is the optional fields. Okay, so now the first thing you need is the product department. Or the product department. Now, when you create the account, the system gives you a general department. Okay, you can add more departments. For example, if it's a pharmacy that you have, some departments can be like, let's say, blood tonics, maybe painkillers, maybe herbal medicine. Those things can all be departments. If it's a boutique, you can say maybe ladies dresses, men dresses, maybe t-shirts. Those can be your departments. All right, depending on the type of business that you do. Okay, now these departments, you can add them and such that when you go to the POS, you can filter and then be able to choose the item. So for the sake of demo, let's add one department. Let's say new department. I'll just call it new department. But you can name it anything that you want and you can add it. Okay, so now this has added a department. Okay, so I can choose new department. And then the name of the item. Okay, my business is, let's say, an electronics business. So I'm going to be adding electronics. So I'm saying Samsung, let's say S20 Ultra. Okay, that's a product. Okay, maybe 256 gigabytes. Right now, if I have different Samsung 20 Ultra, let's say I have 125 gigabytes, 126 gigabytes, or I have 512 gigabytes, I have to add all of them as individual products because they come at different prices and different quantities. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, so for example, if you are in boutique and then you sell boutique items, shirts, and you have different sizes, you can choose to store each size as an individual item, or you can store it as just one. Okay, depends on you. Now the next thing is the batch number or barcode. All right, now the batch number or barcode, it's normally any unique identifier. I can give this 001. Okay, now if you bought a barcode and you want to be using barcode to scan the items as you are selling, then you have to, at this point, you have to scan the barcode of the item into this particular field. All right, and that will automatically pick it and show it over here. All right, so sometimes you scan, you get something like this, a random number like this, which is printed on the product. Okay, it's like a black and white lines that is printed on the product. You scan it and put it there like this. Then when you go to POS and you rescan the item, the system will know that, oh, this barcode belongs to this particular product and pick it for you. But if that's not the case, you can give any random number. Let's say, so I can make it 001. Maybe I can make it Samsung 225, whatever it is. You can use anything that you want. Okay. Now the next thing is track inventory quantity. Okay, so for the track inventory quantity, we have three options: yes, no, hybrid. Okay, now if you're a restaurant, right, and let's say your product is jollof, right? Now jollof doesn't have initial quantity, all right? So for that one, track inventory, you can make it no. So this one, you are telling the system that I just want to sell, okay, but don't deduct from any existing inventory. Okay, yeah, because I just really want to know my sales. If you say yes means that, or maybe I have 50 pieces of this item. So like in my case, I have 50 pieces of Samsung S20 Ultra. All right, but anytime a sale is recorded, the system should automatically deduct from the quantity available. So if I have 50 available and then I sell 5, the system should deduct the 5, then I'll be left with 45. Okay, so that means track inventory, yes. Now if I choose track inventory hybrid, it means that anytime I record a sale in a system, it should deduct. But when the item gets to 0 quantity, the system should still allow me to sell into the negative. All right. But if you make it yes, and then the item gets to 0 stock, the system will not allow you to sell. Okay, so that is track inventory. Now quantity available, I can make it 50. Unit cost price, I can make it, let's say, 20. Now, unit cost price is the price that you get it from your supplier. That's how much you buy the item from your supplier. Okay, for one, that is the unit cost price. Okay, now the unit selling price is how much you sell it to your customer. So you buy it from your supplier at 20 cedis, you sell it at 25 cedis. Now the system automatically shows you the margin that you make when you sell. So over here, based on the cost and then the selling, I make a margin of 5 cedis anytime I sell this item. Okay, so you can see that here. If I make this 19, so the system will say I sell at a loss. Okay, so I'm going to make it 25. Okay, and now this is basically all you need for adding a product. Very simple. Okay, but now let's look at the optional fields. The optional fields also very important. Now, in the optional fields, we have what we call the unit wholesale price. So, for example, if this is your retail price, so the selling price is your retail price. Now, if you sell at a discounted price for wholesalers, you can choose here you can enter it here, let's say 23. All right, 23 cedis. So it means that that is my unit wholesale price. Okay, let's say you sell something like drinks. You have drinks in cartons, right? You sell drinks in cartons. Now, people can buy the thing in carton at the same time they can buy single. If they buy in carton, you sell at a wholesale price. But if they buy in single, you sell at retail price. So what you do is that if you want to find the wholesale price, you don't put the wholesale price of the entire carton. You put the wholesale price for one. Okay, so for example, if it is 50 pieces in a carton, 50 pieces in a carton, all right, and then you sell the wholesale at 23 cedis. The whole carton is 23 cedis, for example. Then it means your unit wholesale will be the 50 cedis divided by the 23. Okay, then it means that for your unit wholesale, you sell it at 2.17. Okay, that will be the unit wholesale price. Okay, so that's how come you get a unit wholesale. But if you don't sell at wholesale, you can leave it empty. Okay, then the low level quantity, the quantity that I want the system to alert me that the item is getting finished, that is the low level quantity. So if I want to get stock alert at 5, I put 5 there. If I want 10, I put 10. If I want 1 there, I put 1 there. Now, additional barcodes, if the item has different barcodes. So for example, the same Samsung 20 Ultra 256, the first shipment I got, the barcode is 001. But the second shipment I got, the barcode is 002, but it's for the same product. Then I can add additional barcodes. All right. Then pack name, pieces. Right. You can choose whatever pack name that you want here. Does the product expire? Samsung 20 S20 Ultra doesn't expire, so I can leave it at no. If it expires, I can choose yes and then choose the expiry date. Okay, so I'll leave it at no and then I'll add product. So basically, this is it. The product has been added. Very, very simple. Okay, very, very simple. Now, if I go to all product, you see now the product I added is showing right over here, making my life extremely, extremely easy. Extremely, extremely easy. Okay, so Samsung S20 Ultra, the batch number that I use, the department over here, the quantity remaining, the cost that I added, the retail price, the wholesale price, the status, and then this over here. Then, like I said, the inventory retail value over here. So now it has done 25 cedis times 50 to give me 1,250 as the entire value of my items. All right, and the total inventory size, that is 50 cedis. Then the inventory cost, that is 1,000 cedis. So that is 20 cedis. The cost price times the quantity, that will give me the 1,000 cedis. All right. So you can do this for all the items that you sell gradually. Okay. Add all your items and you get all the information here. Okay. Now the next thing is that how you can edit your. So now to edit your item, right, you can go to these options, right? You can click edit or you can click delete. If you want to delete it, you can delete it. You can press disable. If you use disable, the item will not show on the POS screen for it to be sold. Okay, so let's say you have an item in the shop, but you don't want to sell it yet. You can just disable it so that it doesn't show in the POS section. So I can just click on the item as well. It opens the view details. Okay, then I can click edit product. So if let's say I have new stock or whatever it is, I can adjust the quantity over here. If I want to change the price, so let's say this one, I want to change the price to now 27 cedis. I can do that and I can click save changes. All right. So if I go back to my item, now you see the price is 27 cedis. All right. So basically, this is how we can edit products. It's very simple, and you can do it for all your items at any point in time. Okay. So it's very straightforward. Now, the next thing we'll talk about is the POS session where we can actually record sales. Okay, so let's see how that works. So to go to the POS session, you can click on POS over here, POS, or you can come here and then click POS. Okay, so we come here and then we go to POS, right? Now you see this is the POS screen. Now to sell an item is 3 phases, right? You choose the item you want to sell. Okay, you adjust the quantity and then you complete the sale over here. Choose the item you want to sell, adjust the quantity or the details, and then you complete the sale over here. So, for example, I want to sell Samsung S20 Ultra. If you realize over here, you see we have 50 left. Also, the departments are here. So if I click general, I don't have any products in general, so it doesn't show here. If I click new department, Samsung S20 Ultra shows over here with the price. If I click all, I see everything. Okay. Also over here, I can search for an item if I want. And over here, if I want to scan a barcode, I can just click this, and then the scan barcode comes, and then I can use the barcode to sell. Okay. So that is it for the POS section. So I want to sell S20 Ultra, 2 of that. I can click it and click it again. Right. If I click it again, you see over here, it shows quantity 2. Then the total 54 cedis. All right. Because I made the unit selling price 27 cedis. So I see the total over here. Okay, if I want to sell 10, I don't need to click it plenty before I can sell 10. I can click the edit button over here, this one, and then I can adjust the quantity to whatever I want to sell. If I sell at wholesale, I can click pricing options and then click here, sell at wholesale of 25 cedis. Okay, and then I switch between the prices. Now, as I add more items, the total shows over here, down here. So you see we have total 54 cedis, discounts applied, amount due 54 cedis. Okay, then the payment method now is just cash. Okay, I'll show you in the settings how you can add more payments methods. So if you have, let's say, mobile money, card, whatever it is, you can put all of that over here as well. Okay, so this is it for the adding an item. Now, if I'm not interested in selling this item, I can just click on this button here to delete it. If I've added multiple items, I can sort of clear everything using the clear cut. And as somebody is buying this, I can open another sale. Okay, so as this one is going and the person is not done, I can open another sale and then add some items over here as well. So I can do as many transactions at the same time as possible. Okay, so that is very, very, very important to note. So if you are in a situation where you have a lot of clients on you and somebody is buying and they are not done, you can always go with this method. Okay, I can add a discount here, whether I want to discount by a fixed amount or a percentage amount, or I can do that here. So by clicking this add discount button over here. Okay, so that's it for that. Once I'm done with what I want to sell, then I click this button, complete sale, over here, complete sale. So I click complete sale, and then now I can either, if you've connected a printer to this device, your computer, you can go to sell with receipts. If you have not, you go to sell without receipts. Okay, now you'll be taught on how to connect your printer and install it. Okay, so that's not a problem at all. But let's just assume you've not connected any printer, so we'll go with sell without receipts. And now that is it, we've recorded the sale. So now the cut is cleared. So now when you go to today's sales, you realize that now the sale I just made is here. So this is the transaction ID or the receipt number, the person who processed it, the payment method, the product that was sold, the quantity that was sold, the total, the time it was sold. Okay, I can cancel the transaction over here. If, like, let's say the person is returning it or you made a mistake, you can cancel it or edit it. You can reprint the receipt if you want as well. Okay, now you see over here at the top here, we have total sales for the day. So 54 cedis, number of transactions, this total quantity of products sold, this total cancel sales over here. So each day when you come to the system, you can see all the sales you've made for that particular day. All right, very easy. The system automatically calculates everything for you. Okay, now the next part we'll talk about is account history. Okay, account history. Now, account history, this is where you see all the sales and the margins you've made apart from today. So over here, you see that it says total sales revenue, gross profit. Okay, so it says that all the sales that I've made, this is the margin that I've made on it. Remind you, today's sales doesn't show the profit because you don't want your salespeople to see, right? Then this account history is only accessible to you, but there's a portion where you can adjust the user settings and all of that. So that definitely helps. Okay, and I'll show you how to do the user permissions and all of that. All right, so you see the margin, the cost at which you sold it at, the margin that you made on it, the date. You see this one shows the full date. So it says Wednesday, 12th August 2026. You see the full date, unlike just the time. Okay, so this is the account history side. Let's say I want to see the sales I made last month. I have to click on this button here, filter. If I go to filter, I can use any filter that I want. So let's say for the month of August 2026, I can click month, right? August, and then 2026, and then I can apply the filter. So you see, it has given me the sales for August. If I go to let's say if it's July, I can choose July 2026. Right now it says 0 because you don't have any sales for July. Okay, we can clear it. If you want to export to Excel too, you can export to Excel as well. All right, so you can combine anything that you want. If you want sale for a particular product, you can find a product and then you can let's say Samsung S20 Ultra in the year 2025. I can get sales for Samsung S20 Ultra 256 gig in the year 2025 and apply, and I'll get all the records over here as well. Okay, so system is very powerful. Account history is very powerful. You can do so much here. All right. So basically, this is account history. Now, let's talk a bit more about the user. Okay, so now let's talk about user settings, right? So when we go to this side settings over here at the bottom left, or we come here settings, okay, now it takes us to the settings page, right? Now we can change the business information here, the location, all of that. You can put that here. The users and roles, okay. Now this is a super administrator account, all right. You can have you can create a sales account. Right now, the salespeople will only have access to whatever you want them to have access to. So salespeople by default, they can't see your product, they can't see your accounts, they can't see a lot of things. Okay, but you can decide the permission. So if you're adding a salesperson, you can come here, set user permissions, and then you can choose all the things that they can add or what they cannot add. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, then you can come to receipt and printer setup. Okay, so receipt and printer setup, for that one, you come to the name of the print, you enter the name of the printer over here, the one that you've installed. Okay, so if I go to the Windows settings, okay, now to Bluetooth and devices, sorry, and I go to printers and scanners. Okay, and then I go to XP. So this is the name of the printer. So if I have, let's say, XP80C, I come and put XP80C right over here. Okay, and then I save it. So now that one will become the name of the printer. So anytime you print with receipt, it will pop up over there. Now, taxes and prices settings, so you can add your taxes that you want to show on your receipt as well. Whether you want to display, whether you want to calculate total levies and all of that, you can do that here. Payment methods, like I said, by default, you already have cash. You can add more payment methods like mobile money and all of that stuff too as well. Then our danger zone is where if you want to delete all the transactions or delete all your inventory, you can do all of that over here as well. So yeah, basically this is how the offline desktop app works. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. It didn't need a lot of complications. Stock alert is very simple. You can see the items that are getting finished over here based on the low levels you've set. All right. Now, if you want to log out of your account, anytime you want to log out for your salesperson to use the system, you can come here. There's a logout icon right here, so you can press logout. Okay, so once you log out, your salesperson can use the account you created for them to actually log in into the system. So always do make sure to log out of the system first before you leave it for your salespeople, else they'll have access to everything. All right. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our support. Okay, if you need any clarifications on how the desktop app works.